That's in the Kissinger documents and all of the new ones, but instead of doing it secretly like 30 years ago, now Ted Turner comes out with Nat Rothschild and says you should only be able to have one child and that child to be taxed. But then meanwhile, they've all got private jets and private trains and yachts and, 5 children apiece. And Kate Middleton is lecturing you on carbon taxes, and we've now moved into a cottage. It's only 300 rooms for the earth. I mean, it's just all asinine hypocrisy in our face.
Yes, but from their point of view, they don't see that as that, because they do, but they truly believe that they are superior people genetically, and they believe that they've evolved. We're junk genes. We're the junk genes left at the bottom. And one of the arguments I saw in a scientific discussion was the proof of the fact that the people are junk genes is that they would have been up amongst the elite if they had the ability to get ahead in their genetic makeup. Therefore, because they haven't gone up to multimillionaire status and have no desire to, then they equate that to what they call arrested civilizations of Africa and primitive tribes. They're junk genes, they can't move on. We do move on all the time. We're involved in planning the future. We control the future.
Exactly. Moving on is being willing to slit your grandmother's throat and enjoy it. The true human genes of helping your community, building, being admired because of your art or your strength or your ability to hunt or your ability to build. No. Now it's your ability to team up in gangs and lie and manipulate people and dumb folks down and make things ugly. And that's why they're selling us with Lady Gaga with the dead Chinese corpses, just openly flaunting, look, I'm dancing with murdered prisoners. It's beautiful. That way no one will stand up for you when you're being murdered.
There's no doubt about it. People who are debased and thoroughly dehumanized do not stand up together for anything. And so it's a warfare technique as well. And you use cultural wars all the time and economic wars all the time as well. But these elites, you see, are really the deviants, and we don't understand that because in the psychopathic nature of humanity, the groups that inbred over time were the ones that slaughtered their neighbors, and they took over the land, and that's really, real estate was always land. That's real estate, as opposed to fake estate, which is their money system, which we believe in. We've been taught to believe in it. And but in reality, that they became kings and queens and nobles because they had the ability to always slaughter anybody as an example to others at any time at all. And they've actually got books out trying to rationalize the necessity for this kind of behavior, and that mankind can't do without them. That's what they say themselves. We can't do without them because they're the risk takers, etc., etc. But in reality, we're run by clubs of psychopaths, inbreds. So the deviants run the normal people, the ordinary people who can get along and who can cooperate for their own survival. The elite are afraid of the masses, even though they've used the masses. They see the time is coming when they will no longer need them because they can then create specific job-created human or beings for the specific tasks that we used to do, the ordinary folk used to do. And that's what all this work is about. They're using our tax money like crazy to make this happen, to ensure their survival, where they'll be served with all kinds of chimeras, basically. They're especially bred for the purpose that they will do all their lives.
And that's going on at breakneck speed. Undoubtedly, these chimeras are out walking the streets now. This has been going on for decades, and they're just now telling the slaves this because they think they've got us into a deep enough trance. But I'm here to tell you, Alan, I'm seeing record numbers of people waking up, and I mean fully waking up. How do you break people out of their trance?
You have to start with them by telling them why their dollar is being devalued. Something they can understand. It hits them personally. Telling them why their families are breaking up, or their daughter's going off with another woman or something like that. That's kind of stuff, where it's coming from, and what's the purpose is behind it. Things that they can actually relate to in their own lives. And that's the start of it all.
Yeah, I found people are like, wow, you're right, bisphenol A does give you cancer and does reduce your fertility. And now I get emails saying, oh, they're taking bisphenol A off the shelves everywhere, you conspiracy theorist. It's like, oh, it's not a problem. They're taking it off the shelves. First, it wasn't bad for you. Now we've been proven right. So we need to shut up. I think I'm going to get a neti pot or something to try to get my sinuses cleared up so I'm not dinging here on air. But I think it's been overall a very informative radio show here today with our guest, Alan Watt. We're going to have the InfoWars Insider that comes out midweek. Some days Tuesdays, other days Wednesdays, come out at about 4 o'clock today, emailed out to everybody that signs up for it. If you go to the top of InfoWars.com, there's a tab there that says InfoWars Insider. You just put your email in there, and we will send you the article. Also, we're doing exclusive videos every week that are just emailed to you, and that's the only place they are in cyberspace. Exclusive photos, things like that, because we need to have an email system that bypasses even the mainline internet, because they could shut down our websites anytime, and we have never really tried to create a system to personally reach out to you. And all the IT experts we talk to say low tech is high tech. Send high tech information over low tech old email. Yeah, email's old fashioned these days. So sign up for the InfoWars Insider at the top of Infowars.com. Also, I've done 3 hours of radio now here, and I haven't plugged any books or videos. We got a lot of specials going, great films to get and make copies and give to people. We've got to awaken, folks. I got you on here, Alan, originally because I wanted to talk about this shooter who we now know is on drugs and all the rest of it. I mean, I could see the predictive programming. I could see the media getting ready to rebrand terrorism onto the evil white male. And I called it last Thursday. I said the attack's imminent. And that's what you talk about. Once you see the 5th grade level propaganda, you know exactly what they're going to do. It's so frustrating to, like you said, being the fool on the hill, but really you're not the fool on the hill. Everybody else is deaf, dumb, and blind. Alan Watt, final comments on that.
Yeah, it's like deja vu. You know what's coming and what they have to do, because even to do with the big bone of contention from the whole 9/11 deal onwards across the world, the Western world and in Britain and elsewhere, is why should everyone else have to go through all of this, have all of their mail ripped open, have all their emails copied and stored forever, be under the scrutiny of the microscope? How come everybody, when supposedly it was all to do with, it started off with Muslim extremists in the Middle East and elsewhere? So people were saying, why are old ladies who've lived all their life in America with blue eyes, an old granny, being searched and groped at these particular checkup things? Well, that was a bone of contention. Now they've given you a reason why. It could be any one of you. You see, it's a white guy, and so they have to justify all. It
could be a policeman. It could be a policeman. It's the returning veterans. Exactly.
And they had to give you a reason why, because since 9/11 to the present, you see, we haven't seen it. And so they've given you the sacrificial lamb, or whoever they've set up, whatever guy they've set up to do it. And remember, too, we'll never get the truth on this story, never ever get the truth. If this fellow did go over to London and meet with top-ranking secret, supposedly, Knights Templars group, or were they a bunch of CIA, MI6, Mossad guys conning this little fool to go and do this job? We'll never know. We'll never know.
But it's got all the earmarks that it was staged.
Yeah, it does. It does. And believe me, in this day and age, you cannot do anything and get away without people knowing about it. We're all under observation, and it even admitted that the CIA were watching this guy in Norway.
Yeah, so was So was MI5 and 6.
Yeah.
And of course,
and the forums too that he belonged to. Yeah.
No, it's 100% staged, and now we know he's all hopped up on drugs. He'll end up going into the mental institution there and never be seen again. Alan Watt, great points. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Retransmission starts now. I'll see you back live tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central. Ask yourselves, what are you doing in this time of great challenge? What are you doing to unlock minds?